Hey everyone, it's Amy from thecrazycraftlady.com. I'm here today to share a super last minute, super quick, easy Easter craft / DIY decor project. So let's talk about plastic Easter eggs. I know they're not everyone's favorite, they're not the best for the planet, but I'm gonna make a craft that I can use over and over and over again year after year, so I don't feel so bad about it. But I got these at Dollar Tree, 18 for $1. They come in bright colors or pastels. Now, if you followed my blog or my YouTube channel for any amount of time, you know I'm not a big fan of super bright colors. I would say like green and blue are about as far as I venture out into the world of bright colors. Kind of sad. But at first I thought I was maybe going to try to like spray paint these, but it's raining here in Minnesota today and I was like, I don't really want to deal with all that. So I challenged myself to use a bright color in a more farmhouse neutral kind of way. I think I succeeded. Let's see what I made. Let's get making. Okay, so I started out with this packet of Dollar Tree plastic Easter eggs, but you can get them at really any grocery store, big box store, whatever. But I opted for the pastel shades instead of the brighter shades, just because. And I actually ended up just using one of each of these colors. So there were like 6 or 7 colors, I just used one of each. And the thing you're looking for is the plastic eggs that have the 2 holes in the top. That's gonna make it a whole lot easier for you to string up these Easter eggs onto a piece of twine. So then I grabbed these little wooden tags. I think I got these like at Hobby Lobby, but check the unfinished, wood craft supply section at your local craft store. And then I just like outlined with stencil and then went over it with a fine tip paintbrush and just regular black acrylic paint. Use whatever black paint you have. I originally thought I was gonna do like hip and hop, like the Ray Dunn style letters, and so that's what I first painted on here, and then I decided it was just too plain. With the plain Easter eggs, it just needed something more. So I kind of changed directions and I painted bunnies. So here's my pro tip, because this could have been a Cricut project. I could have like cut out little black vinyl decals on my Cricut, but I decided to show you an alternate way. So I just did a Google image search for, I think it was bunny SVG or bunny cut file, something super basic, right? And then I just looked at that image on my phone and roughly sketched it with a pencil with an outline by like after looking at the phone and then like stenciling it out. And then I used that fine tip paintbrush to fill in with black paint. And so this is like my crafting pro tip for all of my crafty friends out there who do not have cutting machines like a Silhouette or a Cricut. You can still find a ton of inspiration and make a lot of fun crafts with SVG files. So SVG or cut files, whatever you want to call them, you can print them out on printer paper and cut them out and trace them like a stencil. Like I could have easily printed this bunny shape and like traced it as a stencil in any size on any craft project. I also really enjoy, and I do this a lot with like script, like font writing things, like printables with quotes on them. Print it out in black and white on your printer. Take a pencil on the back of the paper, scribble across the whole back with a pencil, and then flip the pencil marking side down and use a pen to trace whatever design you have, and that'll like transfer the pencil lead onto whatever your work surface is. I will link to a tutorial to a similar project where I use that technique below. But I guess the moral of the story is there's plenty of inspiration to be found with SVG and cut files, regardless of whether you have a Cricut machine. And then once I had everything painted and the paint had dried, it was time to string up everything. So sometimes the plastic eggs, the little holes in the top, aren't completely cut out. So I just used a pen blade, use like a sharp object or whatever to like really open up those holes. And then string a thin twine through the top of the egg, tie it with a single knot once, and then attach a length of ribbon. And once again, surprise, surprise, I used black and white check ribbon on this, and then secured in the center of the ribbon with another knot of that twine. And then just alternate back and forth with a wooden tag and an egg and a wooden tag and an egg. And to evenly space it, I just kind of laid flat a jar of paint, and I used that as like my length, my ideal length between items. And then my only other tip for you here is when you tie that knot, make sure the tail end of the knot comes, how do I say this? The tail end of the twine comes through the knot at the right angle. Otherwise, you're gonna have all the items, especially the wooden tags on your garland, facing at wonky directions. But if the tail end of the twine comes through the knot facing, towards the next item every time, then when you hang your garland, it should hang nicely. So here is my little Easter garland, and then I added one more thing to my mantle, super easy. I just made little bunny ear, like faux plant things. So I have these little silk plants that I got at IKEA I'm obsessed with. I have, at least a half a dozen in my house. So I just took a length of ribbon and I formed two little bunny ears and I stuffed them into the plant. And then I just wrapped a length of that ribbon around the planter as well. So I secured the ribbon in the back with a piece of masking tape just so it wouldn't slip down. And then instead of tying like a full bow in the front, I just secured the ribbon together with a length of skinny ribbon. Super easy, super simple. I think it's just a cute little farmhouse. Like, it's kind of Easter bunny-ish, but not super over the top. But that's it, my spring Easter mantle. Super quick, super easy. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Until next time, happy making.